Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new PSGL League Racing video. We are racing around Las Vegas once again, and as you can see we're heading towards round number 13 of the championship. Only 2 races to go, and we are 12 points ahead in the championship, and that means we can win the championship today by outscoring our teammate Freddie Rasmussen by more than 5 points. So we need to try and do that. If we outscore him by 5 points, we win our 8th PSGL title, or 7th on PC. I've won 1 on PlayStation back in the day as well. And yeah, that means we need at least P6 in the race today if Freddie does not score any points. And yeah, if any different, if we win the race, Freddie needs to finish P3 or lower, so on. You can make lots of calculations on that side, but this is Q1. We first have to qualify well, because again, overtaking on this game in a DRS train is incredibly difficult, unless you've got an absolute humongous tire advantage. Then it is possible. The issue with that is, if you're on a big tire advantage, you're going to get undercut by a lot of people. So that's what makes it so hard to overtake. So yeah, first run in Q1 puts us P8, not too shabby, but felt like I had to go out again and go for another run just to be safe. A little bit of a moment through turn 1, and yeah, 2 qualifying bends today, so lowest we can qualify is P18 anyway, and that makes Q1 already a little bit safer to or easier to get into Q2, because there's 2 less participants, and thus far we're already nearly half a 10 up. Not a great first sector, not a terrible first sector, with a little moment in turn 1, and yeah, that was a good cut there actually. Gained quite a bit of time. I think another half a tenth. Actually, by the time we exited wall section, we're 1.7 tenths up, and that is quite massive. So yeah, into probably the worst corner on this game. That one right there. It didn't look too bad this time around, but yeah, that corner is so incredibly random. You get random corner cuts. Sometimes your car gets sent flying when you go over it. Other times it just glues like you haven't hit a curb. Other times the rear goes flying, other time the front goes flying. Sometimes you cut it like crazy and you get no warning. Sometimes you cut it a little bit and you instantly get an invalidation. You get what I'm getting at. It's just random, and it completely ruins this track. So yeah, Q1 there, P2 at the end of it. A little bit unfortunate we had to use 2 sets of tires. That first one just wasn't good enough. So yeah, into Q2 we go. Out in Q1 are Joshi Doe, Danny Bresnik, Sander van Dijken, and Philip Preitschneider. So Q2 it is. That's no ideal. And that only puts us P9, our first new tire set. P9. Our used tires was quite good. We were P1 of the used tires, but yeah, just couldn't hack new tires. But that is quite a common issue for me. But as you can see there in the top right, we nailed the cut quite well there. And we have gained like 1.5 tenths. And I think Freddie has crashed in that same corner. Didn't get the luck. Didn't have the RNG gods with him. So yeah, if you're wondering at home what RNG means, it's random number generator. It's what we describe. Yeah, just random corners with where you just need to be lucky in order to be fast, and that's just one of those corners. But we make it through into Q3, P9. And yeah, it wasn't a good lap. We were just lucky that we got a good cut on that lap. Otherwise, we would have been out in Q2 there. Didn't quite have the pace on that lap. Didn't hook it up nicely. But our championship rival and teammate, Freddie Rasmussen, out in Q2, right there, down in P14, So yeah, that's a tough position to be in. Although not a complete disaster, you can still get a podium with a really good race from there. But yeah, needs a bit of luck on your side in order to get that. First run in Q3, this is used tires. And that was a solid lap actually. Once again, P1 of the used tires, but that doesn't matter too much. We need to do it on the new tires if we want to qualify well here in Q3. Into turn 1 we go, using all the track available. Not everyone does that line we do through there, but I like it. It opens up the corner a little bit more. You bottom out a little bit more as well. So yeah, you win some, you lose some through taking that line. But we're 1.5 tenths up on our used tires. Into the next right-hander we go, and that's another half-tenth gain. And we are 2 tenths up right now to a 29.6. Provisional pole is at 29.1 from Thomas Ronnaar. He has 2 new sets for this Q3, which is nice. That it doesn't guarantee pole position, of course. You still have to do a really good lap. 4.3 tenths up, and that means we're on for a pole position lap at the moment. But we need to get the cut right once again, and we just haven't.
Fuck this game, man.
And as you can see, we've lost nearly
Such bullshit.
2 tenths to used tires, which means we've basically lost 3 tenths. And yeah, pole has just slipped right through our fingers there, through no fault of our own really. Again, it just comes down to luck. And now I was just frustrated at this point. I tried to make up for it, but you know, if you don't get the cut right, then it's over. It's a shame I made a mistake in the last corner there, because even with a bad cut in that left-hander there, I think we would have been able to get like P7, which is not great, but it's better than P10 at least, you know. So it's a shame I locked up in the last corner as well. I still tried to carry the speed through the right-hander. It just wasn't possible anymore. So unlucky. P10 it is. Yeah, we can work from here, I reckon. As I said before, if we're a little bit lucky, we only need P6. Ideally, we get a little bit more than that. Always aiming for the win, of course. It is going to be difficult. So let's see what we can do. We're going to be starting on the mediums. And perhaps we can go for an early undercut and try to undercut into the top 3. We're just going to have to wait and see. But lots of hard runners around me, as you can see. And we are on the medium. So let's see if we can gain some positions on the start. That would be a perfect world. But a little bit boxed there in here in turn 1. So yeah, couldn't really go for a big dive down the inside. And then I tried to get clean air on my front wing here. But I got really caught off guard how little grip there was there on the outside. Even though we had clean air, that just didn't work. So yeah, couldn't get a move done there. Into the next right-hander we go. Need to keep our nose clean, of course. Ruben Pedreno giving us enough space. We'll be going side by side for the entirety of this lap so far. Now we have to concede, unfortunately, into the slow speed section. So no positions gained, unfortunately, on this mediums, which is not ideal. We would have very much liked to gain some positions in this medium in the opening lap, but yeah, not a massive tire advantage at the moment on these mediums.
So top 6 on hard. Sorry, correction. Top 6 on medium.
Yeah, top 6.
And 8, 9 on hard.
On the mediums. And that means that we've got 3 hard runners ahead of us. And it would have been very lovely if we would have been able to clear them at the start, but we just haven't. And yeah.
So just 4 medium runners behind you.
And because we haven't in the opening lap, it's only becoming harder, obviously, because the hards get up to temperature. And yeah, the advantage just lessens and lessens by top grip as the time goes on. And now we're at the end of lap 8. Top 3 has boxed, apart from Thomas Ronnaar in P1, or he's currently in P1 now. So yeah, I decided to stay out, not go for the undercut. We just go a little bit longer, and then we are still going to undercut the hard runners.
And you can expect hard to pit.
Boxing. And yeah, a little bit of a late decision for me to box there, but there were still medium runners ahead of me, which I wanted to undercut. Still 2 medium runners ahead. So they're going really long because we are already at the end of lap 11. We're nearly halfway into this race. So yeah, I wanted to undercut them and then try to get to the leading pack before those other people catch back up to me. That's the aim here. But as you can see, as I come out, the gap is 4 seconds. So if you want to pull this off, we're going to need some...
is now again in a 1-2 situation.
We are going to need some really, really good laps here. Because obviously, we are going to get the undercut on the cars ahead. But if they box now, they'll probably come out right behind us. So if we do not want to get overtaken before we catch the cars ahead, we're going to need something special here in the next few laps. And that's what we're trying to do. And as you can see, Alfie Butcher and Joris Kroesen have come out right behind us, 7/10. But as you can see there, we have gained 1.5 seconds on the last lap. If we do that for another lap, we're in the DRS and then we're sorted. But as you can see, the battery is starting to run a little bit low here. That is the issue we have at the moment. But all we can do is just push flat out and hope we somehow make it in time. And then we can get DRS and it makes life a little bit easier. But if we don't, Alfie Butcher is pretty much going to get the free pass on us on whatever DRS rate. So yeah, at the moment 8/10 is quite far back to make a DRS move. So yeah, he's not going to be able to do it as I get a poor cut unfortunately through there. Car really jumped.
The cars are lapping low 33s.
Yeah, you might be wondering why he's not driving around it, and that's because driving around it is basically as slow as messing it up. Maybe not quite as slow, but it's close to being as slow as messing that up. So yeah, that's why we just are risking it, especially at this point in the race where we have to catch up to Angelo Di Ortenzio.
They pitted lap 8 and 9.
And yeah, as you can hear my engineers say, cars ahead have boxed at the end of lap 8, apart from Thomas who boxed at the end of lap 9. So we got a 3-lap tire advantage to the cars ahead. Apart from Thomas, we only get a 2-lap tire advantage to him. And yeah, because we're pushing so hard by the end of this race, that is going to be minimized to nothing basically. So yeah, very unlikely at the moment we're winning this race. But yeah, it's Vegas, baby. We gotta try. You know, maybe something happens. We've had some crazy league races here. Yeah, it doesn't take much for shit to go down, basically. So 1.2 seconds is the gap. We still got Alfie at 9/10 behind us. One warning, right? And that means he's not going to be able to overtake us again. This lap.
You have a from just one.
Okay.
Everyone ahead pitted lap 8 except Ron Haar lap 9.
Okay. And yeah, even though we've got a normal battery lap, we just lost 4 or 5 tenths to Angelo on this straight. Due to DRS, of course. At the downside for him, he is getting dirt here in the corner.
First hard medium have already pitted on lap 13, behind P15, behind Joris Kroesen.
And yeah, we set the fast lap the race there for a brief moment, but we've got no battery. Alfie's still around 7-8 tenths behind. Hasn't really been able to close in much. I guess there's also not used up as much tires as us, of course. Boxed the lap later, and yeah, I think in some way we're pulling him along a little bit. We are pushing flat out because our only hope is getting DRS on this lap. Unless we've got an 8/10 gap again coming out of this slow section. But yeah, eventually our tires will degrade faster just because we're pushing so hard. Gap now 5 tenths. And yeah, we really need this DRS. You can see we're down to below 20% battery, and we've got 2 huge straights coming up. So we get the cut nicely though, and that seemed to have saved us. I think Alfie completely
So just waiting for first
butchered
part medium
that
pass
cut.
EOS of the horse behind you.
And he lost 3 tenths there. So this time RNG was on our side, and we are very lucky because we missed DRS by 300ths. Entering the chicane, Alfie 3 tenths behind. If-
That hard medium runner will have a tire advantage of 6 tenths to you.
If we didn't get the cut right there, he would have been past us, and then we would have fallen into the clutches of people with even fresher tires. So finally, at the start of lap 16, we are in the DRS of the leading train, and we needed that so much. So finally, we can recharge the battery a little bit. And yeah, we need that. Angelo is going wide actually through there, and yeah, that helps us a little bit because we can just save more battery. We don't have to push anymore that way. And now we need to set up a move on Angelo because obviously we've got quite a bit of a
When do
tire
the tires
advantage.
become equal?
Tires equal towards the end. They still have an advantage now on the final couple of laps. 3 tenths.
So let's see if we can get this moved on ASAP. That's
The
the goal.
advantage to car ahead should be around 4 tenths-ish.
And we want to get it done as soon as possible, but as you can see, we're only 1/10 behind, going 350 kph on the straight, and we're not gaining in the slipstream. But yeah, everyone at this point is well aware that slipstream doesn't really exist in a DRS train. So yeah, once again, just gonna recharge the battery, and what we need to do here is
I
just
still got quite a bit more grip, so I'm gonna go for it soon. Just need to recharge battery.
yeah, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to drain Angelo out of battery. If he fights this for the next few laps, eventually he's gonna completely run out of battery, and we're gonna get a free pass. But what we need to be careful is not run out of battery, or run out of battery and then Alfie and yours and all the people behind us get a free pass. That's what eventually will happen to Angelo. If we get past, then that's his race over. But that is kind of the risk of this game, you know? And that's why also you see so many DRS trains, because if you really aggressively attack, you run out of battery, and then the car, whoever is behind you, has just been saving and
Just
looking.
waiting for your tire advantage to those lap 8 pitters will stay somewhat around half a second all the way to the end.
Yep.
And yeah, eventually they will just get a free pass if you're too aggressive on the ERS. Has happened a couple of times to me already in this league racing season, obviously, because I'm trying to go for the win and not settle for whatever position we're in right now. I think it's P5. But yeah, it's obviously worth it, because if you make it work, you get the win. If you don't, you drop a couple of positions. So lap 18, and we're still trying to drain Angelo out of battery here. Again, we're so close behind. Only 2 tenths is the gap as we enter this straight. But again, how much we can do, we're just gonna have to recharge the battery and keep draining. Keep trying to drain Angelo out of any battery. So into the slow section we go again. You can see we still clearly have quite a bit more grip. Even though we got quite a bit of dirty area, we can stay quite close. So 60% is our battery, which is not bad. And this was the point where I knew we had done it. Angelo had to already start recharging well before that fast section, and at that point I knew he was in trouble. He had no battery left. So all we have to do is use here on this straight, turn it off early, and then on the next straight, we're going to get a free pass. You can see he's flashing, and that is not because he turned his battery to none. That's because he's below 10%. So on the exit here, we are going to get a free pass. Angelo has no battery remaining. All I have to do is turn the overtake on and get a free pass, and that is up to P4. However, this is what I was talking about. Alfie has just been sitting behind, recharging his battery for the past few laps, and we need to be careful we don't get overtaken straight away. And it's frustrating because in some way...
Barry on 70% battery.
It just rewards people who sit in a train and don't overtake. But if everyone does that, we are just going to be train driving from lap 1 to lap 25. So we've got to attempt to be aggressive and make overtakes here. Otherwise, we're never going to finish in the podium or win a race. So, yeah, lap 22 now. And you can see we've actually managed to recharge the battery and keep Alfie Butcher behind. So that's crucial. Kind of need to try and keep doing that. And yeah, we're really close behind Barry, entering straight 1.5 tenths. And we need to try and do the same again. Run Barry out of battery and go for a move, trying to close in. We're doing 356 down the straight as the two kick cars up front are swapping around. Into the final chicane we go. We need to try and get a good run out of here. Unfortunately, we don't. Dirty Yak not helping as well, of course. Again, we're going to try and go for a move.
The issue I have here is I can try, but Alfie's going to get past if I don't make it. And even if I make it, I think he might get lost.
And yeah, that's what I just explained. That's the risk.
Shit either way.
I know.
That's the risk we have at the moment. But through turn 2, and we get a great run this time. And this is a prime opportunity to snatch away a podium from Barry Burman into the braking zone. Off turn number 3 we go, and a little bit of contact in the apex, which sent me a little bit wide, and we still get a position. Up to P3 we go, but again we had to use a lot of battery there, and we might be under pressure from Alfie Butcher. Let's not forget he's also got a fresh set of tires
on Alfie EMS.
I've basically pushed the wall away, and yeah, we are going to be running low on battery as well, because Alfie just got another free pass. He's the smart one here. He's just chilling behind on fresher tires, sitting on full battery, not having to do anything. And we are doing all the hard work here. But yeah, let's see if we can perhaps do something in the last 2 laps to the leaders. It's going to be difficult because they're teammates, and if teammates are in P1-2, that makes it very, very difficult to overtake. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, we've got no battery remaining. So, Alfie Butcher behind us is going to attack us here, and it's going to be very difficult to defend this. He's on fresher tires, got a fuller battery, and
I've lost our feedback as well. Even better.
I'll save you what I said after that. I decided to cut it. But it wasn't about...
Tommy, I did 1 lap after you, no info on ELS.
It were very nice words. But yeah, on to the next lap we go. And same scenario. We've got Joris behind on fresher tires and is sitting on a pretty much full battery. And we do not have a full battery, as you can see, as we head into the final chicane. Down to 19% battery, trying to get a good exit out of that final chicane. But again, we've got no battery. We've gone so aggressive on trying to get past Barry and trying to defend from Alfie that, yeah, we're now going to lose this.
It's just pays to drive like a pussy or race like a pussy on this game.
We've now lost the
rear. Rewarded for driving in a fucking train.
That's what I basically just explained. But yeah, we're back to P5, which is where we originally were when we were behind Angelo. So that's unfortunate. Push like hell to try and get the win here, but it backfired in the end. And you can see Alfie really close behind Julian. Really, you can see the tire advantage there at this point. But yeah,
Harvey has 20% more than you.
As you can see on the mini map, Freddy out of the top 10 and Barry behind us, and that means that if we stay in this position and nothing crazy
Harvey
happens,
on 77 on quad exit.
we are going to be 8-time PSGL champion. Our first one was back in 2019, if my memory serves me correct, on PlayStation. And yeah, the first PC one was on 2020, or if my mind serves me correct again. A long time ago, of course. But as you can see there, nothing crazy happened here on the last lap. And that means we're going to be an 8-time PSGL champion. And yeah, not too happy with the race, of course. Because yeah, I felt like we had a small chance to win that race, but perhaps didn't quite play my cards right. Took a little bit long with overtaking some cars. Perhaps pace was not perfect as well. So yeah, there was more in there, especially the past few races. You know, I'm not too happy with the performances. But over the course of the season, we were the most consistent, and that's in the end of the day, especially with this point system, is what got us the championship. You know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed another PSGL season. One more race coming up next time around Abu Dhabi. Let's hope we can finish it off strong as we slowly head towards F1 Esports. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.